Burna Boy's No Sign of Weakness is something that is really interesting right now. He was able to sit all 10 tracks on Apple Nigeria, and that is one of the massive, and that is a new song effect. That is something I kind of understand by Nigerian Apple charts, because when you drop new song, especially when you are in the top A list in Nigeria as a music artist, you are quick to get to the top. So let's see how this album is going to do in relation to Davido's 5 album, because that is also a comparison. This album, these guys, they drop both album in the same year, and a lot of people are quick to really kind of compare at a time like this. That is something I kind of understand about all of this. But now I think there is a slow jab that came in from Burna Boy to Davido. That is what a lot of persons are talking about based on album stocks. A lot of people are now responding to that. Burna Boy sends shots on No Sign of Weakness, track 2 of his album. According to Burna Boy, said hot head can get cold feet. So my advice is that it's best you don't speak. The little frog better not jump up and leap. The 44 gun make him slumber and sleep. Send the perimeter to the governor, them rich. So this is what a lot of people are now analyzing and saying a lot of things. I think, somehow a lot of people are saying that, yes, Davido is often referred to as frog voice, from Whiskies and from a lot of people. They always say that on social media, and he even had a diamond chain, frog diamond chain for it. So now Burna Boy making reference to that, and also making reference to governor, because Davido's uncle is a governor. A lot of people are now really concerned about this, saying that it be like say Burna Boy threw this bullet to Davido. What is it going to be like? Is it going to escalate for them to go into the vocal booth and all those kind of things? That is a lot of questions a lot of us are really asking right here. I think we need to understand it from that point of view. But on the ranking of No Sign of Weakness by Burna Boy, it is one of a classic album. This album is dropped, got 10 tracks already seated on Apple Music Top 10 Nigeria. That is actually massive to an extent. So what do you feel is going to be the success of this album? I want you to put your own comment in the comment section so that you can have a take on what you feel about all of this. Guys, I want to put this in here. I want you guys to understand that Burna Boy is not just an artist, but this guy is a real performer. And that is also something that goes with Rema. These guys have actually admired their craft on stage, and I have to commend that. I have to say a lot of interesting things about it, that these guys, with the kind of energy and also the kind of they understand the power of instrumentation. That is something I got to understand about that. And they are quick, and they are always trying to express themselves with all of this, and that is why they are easily getting the crowd along. And a lot of people can really understand that from a different point of view. That is something I feel about all of this, and somehow some people are getting to understand right now better that Burna Boy, when you talk about stage work, this guy got it. And also a person of Rema got stagecraft. That is something I feel about that. Yes, No Sign of Weakness. A lot of people are now drawing comparison between No Sign of Weakness and the 5 album of Davido, because these guys are big rivals and they drop album the same year. A lot of people are now saying that, yes, now this one better pass, now this one better pass. That is something I'm really getting. But these guys are both fantastic artists. When you talk about some kind of Afrofusion things, you should talk about Burna. But when you talk about telling African stories to an extent, you should talk about Davido, based on the impact he's made in the music industry in Africa at a time. Do you feel that this will spark another rivalry? Because a lot of people are now checking their lyrics word for word, and they were able to cite in no sign of weakness that there was a direct or indirect jab at Davido by Burna Boy, and this is going to spark another conflict. Davido actually said something on social media that you can't say this to my face, yeah. A lot of people are going back and forth with this. Are we just, kind of manufacturing these things in our head in the comment section just to like, make these guys trend? Are they trying to play on our intelligence? Don't be surprised that these guys are friends for real life. That is a thing a lot of people are really talking about right now. So I want you to put your own opinion in the comment section so that we can have a take on what you feel, because I need to really understand your own position about all of this. Remember that Burna Boy is the most followed artist on Spotify, and that will give Burna Boy an edge over the video based on streams. But follow, they give edge. It's not about follow, it's about streaming. That is something I got to understand. A lot of people are really talking about it, and this is an interesting one. We got a person of Whiskey that actually broke the highest day first day of an album stream on Spotify with over 60 million, and then we got the video with over 15 million, and then Burna Boy is still at less than 10 million. But can we say it for this no sign of weakness? That is the question a lot of us need to understand or need to really get the answers. That is something I'm saying right now. So let's look at how the statistics is doing. But do you think no sign of weakness or Burna Boy is doing better? But when you compare that no sign of weakness of Burna Boy to his former albums like African Giant and the rest, you will get to understand that I think is not really getting that power right now. But a lot of people are too positive that it's going to actually kind of make a lot of impact based on the recent trend of things. No sign of weakness, Burna Boy. We got 5 album from Davido and Mariah. Nobody seems to be talking about Mariah's album from Whiskey. Whiskey actually did a lot of impact with Mariah's album. I think Whiskey should have gone immediately on tour after dropping the Mariah's album. That is something I kind of understand. And also, Whiskey does not really promote all that much, and that is effective to an extent. Burna Boy is in Europe, moving from studios, podcasts, granting interview, trying to promote his album, and we got a person of Davido actually doing same. But what of Whiskey? They promote and you did drop and spend money on album. But all the same, a lot of people will come out and say this is working for Whiskey to an extent. They promote, but they make money. Don't fail to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button below and the bell notification icon to always get notifications each time we upload our videos.